Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we're gonna work with the vanilla vine, which you can see in the background there. It's funny enough, I wanted to make this video and work on this orchid a few weeks ago, and lately you did send me a few comments asking me to make an update on the vanilla. Well, there we go. It needs some work. I feel she's not as happy as she could be. She's in no danger. I mean, look at her. She looks nice, right? But I want to change her medium. I want to change her pot. I feel like she grew better on that rod. I got a new rod for her, so we're just going to change the setup once again. I feel that the mixture that I made with the soil is not as good as the previous mixture that I made, which contained a key ingredient, and that is coconut coir. So today we are going to test some coconut coir and we shall repot this orchid in that medium. So before we unpot and work with the orchid, let's prepare the medium because I feel it's quite interesting. Alrighty, so the medium we are working with today is another IKEA medium. It's called Odla. It's the very same name that the clay pebbles have, so I guess it's within that same line. This is, however, coconut coir. It is dried and compressed. And according to the instructions, if we add 1.5 liters of water, we should get 5 liters of soil. Now, this entire bulk costs €5 in my country, so it's 15 liters of medium for €5. Not very bad, and everybody says this is actually a great medium. I actually have to agree with that in certain conditions. Let me elaborate a little bit first. Here's an orchid that I have potted in this medium. I did not pot it myself. It just so happens that this medium is actually very popular in Europe, particularly with commercial nurseries in the Netherlands, which provide beautiful orchids for all of us here in Europe. Now, why would nurseries use this medium? Well, it degrades slower than sphagnum moss, and it acts pretty much like sphagnum moss in the sense that it retains a lot of water and can provide this water to the plant without being as compacted and as heavy as soil would be. Also, it's poor in nutrients if it is properly processed. Soil can offer nutrients, so pretty much it is lightweight and very breathable. In comparison to soil, in comparison to bark, oh no. This stuff is still kinda heavy for orchids. I believe that either you are very lucky with your environment to make this medium work with epiphytic orchids, or you know exactly what you're doing. Otherwise, this still can be a little too fine, too suffocating for epiphytic orchids. I would personally never use it. However, for terrestrial orchids, it's a dream. It is actually lightweight in comparison to soil and very crumbly. It doesn't compact as much as soil. It doesn't create those boulders of compacted medium. So you can see how for a terrestrial plant, not only orchid, this is actually a pretty good option to conventional soil. My vanilla orchid is is part terrestrial, part epiphytic, as it is in nature as well. So I think she would appreciate this medium more than the one she's currently in. So first, let's start by preparing the medium. This shall be fun because, as we know, IKEA has some clear instructions and they're actually making your life a little easier with packaging as well. Oops, not the best scissors for this, but it worked. So each individual brick, let's say of coconut, is packed separately. Next, we need to cut the top. And at this point, I'm praying that this bag is not broken, because the next step is to hydrate this brick. We need to add 1.5 liters of water, so let's just do that. And I have to say, it doesn't appear to be broken anywhere. Alrighty, so I'm gonna leave this a few minutes to soak up the water and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, I think the medium will take a while, so let's just focus on the orchid now. As you can see, she doesn't look bad. She just doesn't climb anymore, and she actually doesn't appreciate going down. She's just dangling under her own weight right now, but it's okay. She still grows very nice. Let me get you a close-up. The color is nice. The pattern just got very, very vivid. But if we look at the bottom, you can see the lower leaves, they're not doing all that great. It might be that they're very old and it's their time to go. I'm not entirely uh-oh. Well, alrighty then. Okay. So, yeah. What happened was the orchid lost its roots completely. I don't know how this happened. I I just saw it now. It just lost its stem inside the ground, and I do believe it rotted away. I do believe this was not perfect medium for this one. And oh my, this was not good for her, but luckily she did have some roots going into the soil and she got some hydration. But this does not look good. And yeah, I was not expecting that. Good thing we intervened. So the plan is to put her into a new pot. I wanted a tall pot to accommodate for the rod. I got her a taller rod to climb and be happy on that rod. I like that I can water the rod. This thing, I cannot water it all that well. It just goes everywhere. So in the end, my little repot here, it wasn't all that great. It wasn't the best idea that I ever had, and she didn't appreciate the new medium, sadly. Oh well, what to do? I do believe that the coconut coir though will do much better. I don't think it needs pieces of bark. It's super fluffy and super airy as it is. So I think it's time to unpot this orchid. Let's begin. Now, as you can see, I did try to make this medium as airy as possible. I mixed in pure bark chips that I found in a different medium with some perlite and the medium itself. But this is a PT type of medium. The other medium in which this orchid grew without a problem the entirety of last year, well, almost all of last year plus 2016, it did not have peat, you guys. It had something else. It had that coconut thing. So I don't know if it was the airiness of the medium that she didn't like, or the quantity of nutrients peat provided and so on. I'm not sure. She didn't like it, obviously, so what to do, right? Alrighty, so I will make a mess, but first I want to make or to fluff up the medium a little bit. I have a funny suspicion I don't have much roots here anyway. This stem is gone. I mean, there are no roots here. I do have another stem here which didn't grow much, so I'm guessing it didn't have much roots either. Alright, I do have a little root here which I don't know if it's alive anymore. It doesn't look like it's alive. There is a chance I might have a few roots here, so that's why I want to do this. Alrighty. Okay, so this root, not good anymore. But yeah, I do have a bit of root here. I have a little bit of a root here as well. I'm thinking I might try to pot this orchid a little bit like this, make it crawl a little bit on the medium. I want to make sure I do have some roots inside the medium. So yeah, I think that's what I will do. I'll get rid of this medium and come back with an empty tray. Okay, so the pot that I will be using is this one. It looks kind of dark on camera. It's actually a pretty light gray, to be honest. I chose it because it's pretty tall, as you can see. I couldn't find many tall pots. I didn't want them to be round, I wanted them to be squared. It's just going to accommodate that rod better, in my opinion. Also, I am going to weigh it down, so I will put on the bottom a layer of pebbles because I will put the rod inside and the rod can become heavy. I will secure the rod to something else as well, but imagine that sometimes, I don't know, I want to shower my vanilla, I want to move it around a little bit. If the pot is not heavy at all, it's a little problematic, so I just want to weigh it down a little. And the rod that I will be using is 1 meter 20 centimeters long. So it is quite an improvement from her previous rod, and it will stay like this on one corner of the pot. And already it kind of stays. Wow, cool. It's not stable though. Alrighty, I think my medium is done. It is time to add the medium. Okay, so my medium is definitely done, definitely soaked. So I am, wow, it's so fluffy. Oh, this is so good. I think the vanilla will absolutely love it. Now, coconut husk like this actually has a pretty acidic pH. I measured it in one of my new orchids, but it doesn't go very acidic. It's around 6.5 or something. It's pretty great. So for terrestrial stuff, I think it will do wonders. Pretty excited. Oh, my poor vanilla. I think she really missed her old fluffy medium, which had the coconut thingy. But hey, you try, you learn, trial and error, what can I say? So I'm going to place medium. I'm not gonna compact it or anything. Okay, I think this is enough. Time to bring the vanilla. The rod became pretty stable, I have to say, which is good. But I will have to stabilize it on one of my stands, most probably. So here's my little vanilla. You can see she's quite a big girl. But the root system, oh boy, I'm a little sad about that. It used to be so good. I'll link it down below to the video in which I repotted her into the soil so you see how the root system was. But anyway, it's okay, we're gonna fix it. So now it's time to pot her up, and this is always pretty difficult because she is a heavy vine. And I think it's easy to snap it, so I'll try to be careful. I think the best place to put her is this side. You see how the vine makes a turn? Yeah, I'm going to work with that. And I'm going to pot her like so. As I was saying, I want a few of her roots inside the medium. So she will sit like this, and then I will pin her to the rod. And the other part, poor little vine, look at this one, she lost everything. The medium was dreadful. I'm going to do the very same thing, but you can see this is tinier, so I'm gonna put her on a different level. I think now it's time to add more medium. And I think now we can place the other vine as well. I would like her to be under this one actually. The vine is quite flexible though, so no worries. And I want some of the roots to actually touch the ground and get some hydration. Oh, come on, little root. There she is. I'll place her on the rod later, and time to add more medium. Okay, so at this point I think it would be better to start pinning the vanilla up just to make a bit of clearing here and see what to do with the medium, see if I have any buried leaves and things of the sort, so that's what I shall do right now. Alrighty, so as you know, I'm a fan of raffia tape or wire. It turns out it doesn't really degrade all that fast, so it works pretty well for me. I don't know how easy this will be, making sure that you guys have a good view and I do a good job. I'm just gonna start working on it. If not, we're just going to change the angle. Oh wow, she's a tall baby. At this point, it's very uncomfortable. It's okay though. Okay, so I went back and redid some of the ties I wasn't happy with, and I also repositioned the tip because it was leaning downwards, and oh boy, she's almost at the top again. It's okay, it's gonna be better for her to just dangle on this rod because I can always reattach her, you know. On the trellis that I made, it turned out not to be a good idea. I also pinned the small vine, as you can see, and I think it's now time to just figure out this medium situation here. Put the leaves that should be on the top, make sure that the stem does touch the moisture because I want it to root, and simply add more medium where it's needed. Another thing that I will do is just go outside and shower her with the hose. I want to shower the existing roots, I want to wet this rod as well. I want to hydrate her through her epiphytic roots because she doesn't really have much to work with in the medium. I'll clean her up a little bit and come back when I'm done with thoughts on this medium and on vanilla in general. And here we are, my orchid has been watered and she looks a lot better, I would say. I think she's gonna be much happier on the rod, and I really think she's going to like this medium more. About the medium, this is the first time that I'm using it, and I have to say it looks pretty good. So as you can see, it does look like it's fluffy. Doesn't look like compacted medium. It has the fibers, which you can see here as well. And PS, last year this orchid grew very, very well on this rod. The roots just went inside, they went crazy with the rod. So I know that the coconut fibers on this rod were okay for the orchid. I just hope that this medium is properly treated. But hey, it's IKEA, you know, it shouldn't be the lowest quality. Not the greatest either, but middle grounds. I'm okay with middle grounds. So let me get you in a little closer. As you can see, we don't have big chunks of coconut. It is grinded coconut, if you will. And you know when you purchase orchids and you think, oh my goodness, they're in soil. They're actually not in soil, they're in something like this, particularly here in Europe. And if you're lucky, sometimes the orchids still have roots. If you're not lucky, they don't have roots. For pure epiphytic, air-loving orchids, I wouldn't use this, it's risky. I would try this thing with zygopetalums, I definitely will, because they're semi-terrestrials. Even with paphiopedalums, with cymbidiums, I think this would do great with cymbidiums actually. Cool. I do have the Nicosia, which is a terrestrial orchid. I think it will do great as well. What else? Peonies, all those orchids. Oh, even Phragmipediums, why not? I think Phragmipediums would do okay in this medium as well. or at least it's good to try. If you have any experience, let me know down below. Gardeners are pretty stoked with this medium. They say that it aerates the soil, it provides some acidity, and this thing doesn't really go moldy. That's what they say. I don't know. I'll see about that. It's still organic. If it's anything like the rod, it will not decompose fast at all, which makes it a little bit better than sphagnum moss from this regard, but sphagnum moss is more versatile. Oh my goodness, there can never be a perfect medium. Anyway, so yeah, I'll keep you up to date with the vanilla and with this medium as well. If you're interested, I'll link you down below. Again, it's called Odla. You'll find it in the plant section. And I think it's good for terrestrials. Give it a go. So alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this video and asking for updates on the vanilla. There you go, she wasn't the happiest. So fingers crossed we'll do okay, but the vanilla, you know, she's a fighter. She's not a finicky orchid, I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this, and if you did, you know the drill, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular orchid videos, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!